Okay, welcome family members. We're going to begin in just a couple of minutes. And first grade team, we are live.
So you have 3 viewers right now. So who goes first?
Okay, thanks for being patient, families. We are beginning now. Well, maybe we should wait a minute. How many people are there?
10.
Let's wait a couple of minutes. There's only 10 folks here. Sorry. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and start. Ms. Smith, don't forget to unmute yourself.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. The first grade team would like to welcome you to Mount Daniel's first ever virtual back to school night. We're really looking forward to sharing all the exciting things we have going on and in store this school year. And we really would just like to thank you for your support as we navigate our way through the virtual learning environment. So let's get started.
Next slide, please. Hi, everyone. I'm Beth Green, and I am the enrichment coordinator here at Mount Daniel. And the first grade team has very kindly let me come and join them just to steal a minute of their time to talk to you about specials at Mount Daniel. You can see on this slide here all of our amazing specialists. That's PE, technology, art, music, STEAM, library, enrichment, and Spanish. We refer to all of those except for technology and enrichment as specials, and then enrichment and technology are extra specials. So when school is in regular session in the building, specials classes meet once each week, and extra specials meet every other week. While we're virtual, specials are still meeting once a week, but it's in a rotating live one week and on demand the other week. We don't yet have a formal schedule worked out for a hybrid model, but we are working on that right now. We're super excited to be working with your kids online. We can't wait to see their faces in person, but we'll take it however we can get it right now. I am very privileged to be able to pass it along to the amazing Susan Alverson to talk about the first grade schedule.
Thanks, Beth. Next slide, please. So my name is Susan Alverson, and I'm one of the first grade teachers. I believe that every teacher has some superpower or something they really enjoy doing in the classroom. I really like playing my ukulele with the kids and seeing them enjoy music. We are very lucky in our classroom to have a wonderful paraprofessional, Catherine Mason.
Hi everyone, I'm Catherine. I'm so happy to be here. Love seeing all your kids in the morning. They always brighten my day. So we were asked to say something about ourselves. I did text my kids tonight, but they came up with some fun answers, but I'm going to tell you this one. I became a grandma 3 months ago today to baby Grace. So that's the highlight of my year.
Thanks, Catherine. So the first slide right before this one is about attendance, and a couple of things just we want to make sure everybody knows about attendance. If you could scoop out one slide, Scott, that would be great. Thank you. Oh, other way. So in regards to attendance, we take attendance each morning and afternoon. If your child's not able to join us, please make sure to email your child's teacher and their parent educator with details. And we will make sure we pass that information on to the secretary at our school. If you're having difficulties connecting, having some technological difficulties, please let us know that as well so we can make note of that. And obviously we'll try to help in any way that we can, but your child's attendance will, if you're not able to get on, we definitely understand, and your child will not be penalized for that in any way. Next slide, please. So as many of you have discovered, on the Schoology page, there is a materials tab. And on that materials tab, there is usually a link, or it may be up, the virtual weekly learning plan. And we'll have the date. And we also have if it's an A week or a B week, which makes a difference because the children's specials are different on A weeks than in B weeks. So in order for them to navigate and get to the right place, it's important for them to know if it's an A week or a B week. On the learning plan, it gives you a schedule of what we're doing. The first grade team plans together, and we work really hard to come up with really meaningful virtual experiences for your children. And something to note on the schedule is at the bottom on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday is Danny time. And if we can go to the next slide to talk a little bit more about Danny time. Danny time is a time in the day when there can be individual and group counseling, intervention, enrichment, small group work, special projects, independent work, conferencing, small group, individual. So many different, it may look very different depending on which week it is, which day it is, and what classroom. But it is a special time set aside. Right now, I know many of the teachers are working on finishing up their assessments during that time as well. Next up is Dorothy, and she's going to be talking to us about the primary years program.
Hi everyone, my name is Dorothy Badenmare, and a special fact about me is I was a varsity letter winner at the University of Texas, and I'm fortunate enough to work with my para, Mehek Shahzadi.
Hi everyone, my name is Mehek, and a special fact about me is that I do henna art as a side business. It's something I enjoy doing a lot.
She's really good at it.
Thank you. And I'm so excited to be coming back soon, hopefully, in person.
I second that. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the Primary Years program. The International Baccalaureate Primary Years program, it's a transdisciplinary curriculum framework which means it's taught throughout the day and is not just one subject, designed for students aged 3 through 12. The PYP focuses on the development of the whole child as an inquirer, which we do through the learner profile, both at school and beyond. We want students to have agency and to take action. Informed by research into how students learn, how educators teach, and effective assessment, the program places a powerful emphasis on inquiry-based learning. If we could go to the next slide. And the next slide, sorry about that. So the following 6 transdisciplinary themes help us to organize our 6 units of inquiry. In first grade, for who we are, we learn about the characteristics of a successful community. For sharing the planet, we discover the impact waste has on our environment. For how we express ourselves, we explore the different modes of communication. For where we are in place and time, we make an inquiry into maps in different places in the world. For how we organize ourselves, we learn about the needs and wants of living things through a community, through a classroom economy. And for how the world works, we create Lego cars for a competition to learn about force and motion. And we're really excited to get back into person and do this in person. And next up, Jen Smith will talk to us about language arts.
I forget that often to unmute myself. Thanks, Dorothy. My name is Jen Smith. I'm very excited to be here. An interesting fact about me, kind of to piggyback off of Catherine, I'm not quite a grandma, but I am a first-time mom. I just had my baby boy almost 10 months ago, so very excited. And I also do have the privilege of working with my amazing para, Sarah Given.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah Given, and I'm really excited to be working with Mrs. Smith and your first graders this year. Something about me is I have 2 daughters. One's a senior in high school, and the other is a sophomore at Virginia Tech. And also in the afternoons, I work downstairs in the main office with Nora Pishner. So I look forward to a really exciting year ahead with all your little friends, all of our little friends.
Thank you. So I'll talk to you about our language arts and our literacy program. And our literacy, back one slide, please. Our literacy curriculum is based off of the Virginia Standards in Learning, and we differentiate our instruction based on your child's needs. And how we do that is we use flexible grouping, and that helps us address your child's individual needs in reading, in word study, and in writing. And we really strive to meet every student at their current level and challenge them appropriately. One way that we do that is we provide guided reading. And in those groups, we provide direct instruction in a small group setting, which we do hope to do virtually and in person. And we work on various components of reading like accuracy, comprehension, fluency, developing their vocabulary, and word study and writing instruction are also very important parts of our guided reading time. Next slide, thank you. So in addition to our guided reading, each day we do the daily 5, and those items include reading to yourself, listen to reading, working on writing, and word work. So that kind of gives you an overview of our language arts. Next up, we will have Jill Waddles to speak to you about phonics and writing.
Here at Mount Daniel. I have been relieved to see the dedication, effort, and tenacity of the scholars as they, with your support, have navigated through the technology and the content so far this year. The paraeducator, who you might recognize from last year as the long-term sub from kindergarten, works alongside me, and her name is Catherine Kennedy. Catherine Kennedy?
Hi everyone, my name is Catherine Kennedy, and I'm really excited to be back at Mount Daniel this year supporting Mrs. Waddle's class and all the first grade students. A fun fact about me is I will be graduating this May with my master's in school counseling.
Nice, thank you so much. It is such a joy to work with Catherine this year. So I'm going to walk through the phonics and writing portion of our language arts curriculum here at Mount Daniel. Each week, we study words using the units of study in phonics. The goals are to provide a concise instructional pathway that is realistic and doable, and that taps into the skills and energy for tackling the fabulous challenge of learning to read and write. This program introduces concepts and strategies in a way that helps the professors of phonics understand when, how, and why they use phonics to read and write. This program also offers delightful, fun, and engaging stories, mascots, songs, chants, rhymes, and a lot of games. And it aligns with the reading and writing workshop for a coherent approach that benefits all learners, teachers, and scholars. In our writing workshop, everyone's a writer. Our writing goals coincide with Lucy Calkins as we focus on teaching the writer, not the writing. These units are written for first graders who have just begun tapping into their powers as readers and writers. One reason we write is to tell stories about our lives. We call these small moments. Scholars begin in the first unit by exploring narrative writing, turning everyday events into well-structured stories. In Unit 2, scholars write how-to books that are nonfiction texts, followed by Unit 3, in which they write persuasive reviews. In the final unit, they will grow from writing scenes to writing an entire fiction series. As the goals are for writing, we are to learn opinion, information, and narrative writing, to develop greater independence and fluency to write, which then helps provide guidance when monitoring students' progress. Next slide, please. Sometimes when you are a great writer, the words come so fast you can hardly put them down on paper. Sometimes. We are going to help provide strategies to help both of those times. Next, Nina Duwangpumi will give you information about our math curriculum.
Thanks, Jill. Hi, everyone. My name is Nina Duwangpumi, and a fun fact about me is that I taught abroad in China for a year and learned how to speak a new language, Mandarin. We have two amazing teachers that we would like to introduce to you. And first up is my wonderful para, Beth Neal.
Hi, everyone. I have so enjoyed getting to know our students this year. I live with my family in Falls Church City. I have 3 daughters. And a fun fact about me is that I can ride a unicycle. And I would like to introduce Miss Phyllis Kravinsky.
Good evening, everyone. I am really excited to be here. And I guess a fun fact about me is that I took a gap year from Mount Daniel last year and spent the year working in Belize with the Peace Corps as a literacy specialist, helping teachers and students in Belize. And I was very excited to be there, but really looked forward to coming home to my normal classroom work at Mount Daniel, only to find out that the world had changed a lot while I was gone, but I'm still really excited to be here.
Thanks, Phyllis. Oh, sorry. I'm going to talk about our math workshop. Our math curriculum is based on the Virginia Standards of Learning and differentiated according to your child's needs. We like to express our math thinking in number talk and learn from one another. We also play virtual math games, explore numbers, and practice math writing. Through the Clever portal, students love to use Dreambox and Seesaw. And up next is Miss Carly Swanson, who will be talking about technology.
Thanks, Nina. So I am Carly Swanson. A fun fact about me is in college, I got to row with manatees and alligators, and I have the pleasure of working with Paige Greiner, my para.
Hi, everyone. My name is Paige Greiner, and I'm so happy to be at Mount Daniel with Miss Swanson and all the other first grade team members. A fun fact about me is that I live in Falls Church City as well, and I have 4 different schools that my family is a part of. I'm part of Mount Daniel in first grade. I have a 4th grader at TJ, a 6th grader at Mary Ellen Henderson, and a 9th grader at George Mason. So I get a lot of newsletters. Thanks.
So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the technology we're using in this new world. So the 2 main pieces of technology that we use are Schoology and Clever. Clever gives students to access to many different learning resources like Seesaw, Myon, Dreambox, Think Central, Renaissance Place, and BrainPop. Schoology is our platform for parents, for parent communication and learning resources. Seesaw is our platform for on-demand or asynchronous work and student feedback. Next slide. So here's a little bit more about Seesaw. Seesaw is a place where students can add any work that they're doing at home using the Add button, and all student work will appear under the Journal tab, which has a book. Must-do assignments will appear under the Activities tab with the light bulb. Teachers will have the option to approve, send back, or delete all student work on Seesaw. Next, we will have Tammy Hagler talking to us about social emotional learning.
Oops. Thanks, Carly. My name is Tammy Hegler, and a fun fact about me is that my husband recently retired from the military after 29 years, so I have moved 13 different times, and I have been very lucky to work with my para, Kathy Musket, for the last 4 years.
Hello, everyone. It's been fun getting to know your children online, and like everyone else, we can't wait to see them in person. A fun fact about me is I have 4 children and they all attended Mount Daniel. And now I have a granddaughter who is in kindergarten attending Mount Daniel.
All right, thanks, Kathy. So we as a first grade team are completely committed to providing every student what they need academically, but we also believe that it is very important to provide your student with what they need social and emotionally, and to support them and support their social and emotional learning. So I'm sure that you've noticed that we have spent a great deal of time at the beginning of the year building our classroom communities. So we've talked a lot about friendship. We've talked a lot about having a growth mindset and being a risk taker and persevering and what that means. Some of the things that you will hear about this year are talking about communication and social skills, perseverance. We're going to teach your kids to be independent and motivated. We're going to teach them to have self-control and take responsibility for their actions. And then we're going to work on some organization and study habits. And we're going to teach them to be critical and creative thinkers. And then we also have started teaching mindfulness with them. So those are some of the other things that your child will be learning this year. And I have the privilege of introducing, I'm sure you've noticed too, that we've done a lot of assessing at the beginning of the year. So to talk more about that is going to be Carol Felderman.
Hi, everyone. I'm Carol Felderman, and it is my privilege to be part of the first grade team this year. Something interesting about me and my family, I too live in the area. So I have a 3rd grader and a 5th grader over at TJ. And I think my favorite part of this evening, besides speaking with all of you, has been that I got the greatest good luck wish from my 3rd grade daughter, Lily, who said, "Mom, you've got this." And I said, "Thanks, Lil." So with that, I want to introduce my amazing para. Thank you so much, Miss Susan Nye. And so please meet Susan.
Hi there, everybody. It is a real pleasure to get to know your children this year in 1st grade. We're really enjoying that a lot. And I'm happy to be working with Carol. And maybe an interesting or fun fact about me is my favorite holiday just happens to be Halloween. I like to think it's a whole season and not just a day. Thanks.
So I'm going to talk to you a bit about assessments. So if we could just switch the slide, please, that would be great. The best way for me to start off talking about assessments is to thank all of you for your amazing assistance throughout this process. Doing assessments online was never a thought in any of our minds until this year, obviously. So we could not have done this without you. So we've started off the year with the STAR reading and the STAR math assessments, which is they call it a universal screener, which means the whole state is taking the same thing. And it's a very broad perspective of what your child is able to do. And it's a lot, but they did it. You helped us out. Thank you. And we're done with that part. So that ended this week. So thank you again. The next part I want to talk to you about is our PALS screener, or not screener so much as our assessment. That one is taking us a lot longer to do than usual because, again, it's online, a new area of growth for everyone. But the PALS screener informs us about where your child is as far as his or her reading abilities. And with that information, we can then go forward and provide our instruction to best meet your child. It's the assessment that I need, and we all need to know, where should we start with your child, your specific child, and what your specific child needs. So we thank you again for your assistance in just making sure the kids are available. It is taking longer than usual, but I think we've got it. We're going to get there, and just stay patient with us all. Finally, I'm going to talk about our math assessments. And for those, each unit, we have a pre-test and a post-test. And I apologize for using the word test. Assessment is much better because, again, those assessments help us inform our instruction as we go into the unit, and then as we see where we are at the end of the unit and what we may need to review in the next couple of weeks. So we thank you so much for, I can't thank you enough. I'm sorry. It's really been a big lift with these assessments, and thank you. So anyway, next up we have Miss Jean Schumacher, and she's going to talk to you about the homeschool connections.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jean Schumacher, and I'm a first grade teacher on the team. A fun fact about me is that I actually attended Mount Daniel as a student, and I'm very excited to be working with Adrienne Wilson this year in our classroom.
Hi. Hello. I'm super excited to be working with your first graders. It really brightens my day to see them each day. And a fun fact about me is I also attended Mount Daniel. And tonight, Mrs. Schumacher and I found out we had the same kindergarten teacher, which is kind of funny.
It's an awesome connection, and I'm just so excited to be working with Mrs. Wilson this year. So I'm going to be talking this evening about home to school collaboration. The gradual release of responsibility front-loads modeling and support for students as they learn new schedules and routines. Over time, as students become more confident in these, they begin to take ownership of their day, and thus they build their engagement and their enthusiasm for their learning. The use of timers, printed or written schedules, and visual aids can help strengthen this growth as a student. In terms of academic support, we encourage you to talk with your child daily about their learning and ask them questions about it as well. Throughout the day, particularly in the virtual environment and especially during assessments, your child may look to you for help in answering a question. We ask that you please encourage them to answer it the best that they can independently, and assure them that making a mistake or not knowing the correct answer right away is just a sign of learning. And as Tammy talked about, it's part of the growth mindset that we will be working on all year. Reading is an integral part of our day. In the Daily 5 alone, we work on reading to self, reading to someone, and listening to reading. So spending time at home working on any of these types of reading can not only help strengthen your child's interest in reading, but it can reinforce the skills and concepts we've learned in the classroom. And finally, communication is of the utmost importance to us as teachers. If at any time you have a question or concern, big or small, please reach out to your child's teacher, and they will get back to you right away and help you problem solve. As our year progresses, your child's teacher will communicate classroom-specific involvement opportunities. Thank you for coming tonight.
So thank you, everyone. This concludes our back to school night. Please look for a link for a survey following this presentation. And as always, if you ever have any specific questions, please email your child's classroom teacher directly. And just again, thank you so much for spending your evening here with us.
Okay, thank you, everybody. If second grade parents are here, please go ahead and at 7:05, refresh your screen on the YouTube channel, and then you will see the second grade team's back to school night presentation. Awesome job, first grade. And
no, stop, go to live, stop streaming.